this is the code of conduct for you operating a business. It's like your handbook for your employees. This is how you come to work and you do your job. Here is the handbook for the clients of this is how we come to work and do our job. And this is what we need from you to be able to do that successfully.
So we have talked relationships and parenting the last couple of weeks, which was really refreshing. It kind of felt like we needed a break from the heavy business stuff, but I'm really excited today to actually get back into business. Today, we are going to talk about the dreaded and controversial, came out weird, contracts in your landscaping business. Are you going to get your microphone in place today?
It's going to take me a little while.
Okay. These feel like things to do before we record. We're not only going to talk about...
I had it right, and then it needed to be a little different.
I feel that. I've just been doing it very gently like this. We're not only going to talk about contracts, but like in terms of service to have in place and the big ways, a lot based on experience, that you can and that you should be covering your ass from like disappointing your clients or getting sued by your clients or even your employees. We can touch on that. Getting bad reviews and generally just like pissing people off. Like this is a really big topic. Mm-hmm. I am going to put a few very useful templates at jacobgodar.com/podcast/terms, which will also be in the show notes. But keep in mind that anything we say in this episode and any of the templates that you get should be reviewed by your legal team before you just implement it willy-nilly in your business. And now I want to ask, this is something we've said a couple times, but if you are liking what we're putting out, whether you're liking the relationship stuff, the parenting stuff, or the like heavy business stuff, or you just want to consume it all every week when something comes out, which would be awesome, please let us know. You know, it's our goal. We say this a lot, but it's our goal to add as much value as possible to reach the people where we could be adding a lot of value to and continue making positive impacts. So the ways you can do that, I mean, obviously there's several depending on how you're listening to this right now, but you can screenshot this episode right now, post it to your stories. On Instagram, you can tag at Jacob Godar or at Nicole Godar. Mm-hmm. You can share this episode as a post on social media. You can share if you're watching it on YouTube, you can share that also. We're just really thankful if you, not just for listening, but if you do share the word, spread the word, whatever. Thank you. Let's talk about, before we start, our vendor booth this weekend at Food Truck Wars.
It was awesome. Really great to finally be back in an event. Mm-hmm. It was cool that it inspired our Illinois team to want to, ask about, hey, can we start doing more events again and things like that? And
well, yeah, because we've been on hold. We were doing so many, and then COVID in Illinois, kind of shut down a lot of the events we were doing.
Yeah, I feel like, were we really though? Because I feel like it was a 2019 thing where we were just hammering events.
2018, 2019, and then
I guess you're right.
Wasn't 2020?
Yeah.
Now the years seem weird.
I don't even know. I can't even remember.
No.
But either way, it was always something good, right? And it's nice to be in this new area and for that to be something we're starting to do here, we're starting to implement. So it was really, really fun. Like I said, one, it's just good to be involved in the community. Two, it's good to, that money is going to, what was the foundation that was going to?
3 different foundations that all do different things. One was for veterans. Gosh, now I'm not going to be able to say it right, but it was a food truck competition, and the money was going towards 3 different charities that each do really, really cool things. So it was fun to be part of. We talked to a lot of people.
Yeah, so you're giving back to the community. You're supporting the community, and you're getting to be out in front of the community when so many people are going to this event. And so many people are walking by getting to see something that you're demonstrating. Like for us, it was landscape lighting, talking about landscapes, talking about our new lanai lighting systems, really just getting the opportunity to meet with people, let them see what you have going on. And, it was something that we got a bunch of appointments off of where now we get to go help and serve more people.
What I love about vendor booths is it's always been so laid back. We always bring our kids. Mm-hmm. And so even if it's not like a whole team effort, family day, it's relaxed, more with the microphone and the adjustment.
I decided I need to move over. I don't like how we're centered in the camera.
Oh, no.
Because, you need to come towards me.
I need to come towards you?
Yeah, okay. That's much better. We almost look like I got the camera straight.
We do so much preparation before we hit record, and we don't just sit down and hit record. Can you tell? You posted kind of like a behind-the-scenes look on your YouTube. So if anyone is kind of wondering what it looks like to have a vendor booth or wants to see our setup and how we were getting leads and booking appointments, then go to your YouTube because it was fun to record too. And It's a fun family memory. Okay, this is not so much fun to talk about. But let's give listeners kind of an update on the motocross training you've been doing.
Yeah.
We had done an episode, our new year goals, where you want to go to Loretta Lynn's ranch and race in August. And to do that, you're basically training from now until then. How's it going, bud?
Yeah, so you've got to qualify for this race, and the first qualifier is on the 26th. So I've been...
Of what, February?
Yeah, February. But so, yeah, I've been really pushing hard to get in shape, get back in condition, riding a ton. And then, you know, so I went out and did a couple races, and one was actually at the track where you qualify at, and it was kind of eye-opening, and it was good to be at a track that's more like what I'm used to and not so much just sand. Somewhere in the training, I had a wreck, and I tore my meniscus. So that happened. And then at this big race, I dabbed my foot in a corner and made it substantially worse. I can run, I can work out, can't do like heavy stair stuff anymore. And I was able to go riding again for the first time in a couple weeks last week. And it was pretty decent. Unfortunately, I feel like now it feels like I haven't rode for months again because I took 2 weeks off and my arms got super tight. That could all be because I was babying my knee, just trying to make sure things are good. So it is what it is. And that's just like being in business. You know, you've got a challenge gets thrown your way and you've either got to either give up or you just keep going and try to figure it out.
I'm really proud of you. You are extremely committed. You are extremely impeccable to your word. Your character is shining through in this experience because I think it'd be easy to get pissed off, to even kind of give up and or slow down. You're just remaining very committed, and it's a great lesson for our kids to see. So I'm proud of you. I'm sorry you're injured. You are tough as shit, man. All right, here we go. Contracts, terms of service, agreements, whatever you want to call it. Don't call it a handshake, but let's start with this, something that comes up frequently. Do you need a contract for residential lawn care?
No, I don't think you need any contract at all. Could you have contracts? Yes, you could. Does it matter much? Like an agreement that lays out how you're going to operate is sufficient.
Mm-hmm. An agreement or terms of service?
Terms of service, yeah. Just stating all the rules and terms and conditions of conducting business with your company.
What to expect.
I mean, so many people have this, well, my last lawn guy did it. Here's our terms of service. Here's how we operate. I feel like I've heard people not emphasize the importance or act like this isn't as important, but this is the code of conduct for you operating a business and how it's like your handbook for your employees. This is how you come to work and you do your job. And then here is the handbook for the clients of this is how we come to work and do our job. And this is what we need from you to be able to do that successfully. Mm-hmm.
When I was writing my notes, it seemed to really parallel the handbook and the acknowledgement packet for employees that we have in our terms of service for our clients. So it's cool that you said that. And when I think contract, to me, that implies something you maybe can't break or something to retain a client and to like retain that payment. That's what I think when I think contract. And then when I hear agreement or terms of service, I feel like it's you are obviously not binded to us at any time. It's a what to expect informational guide. It's funny because I think the people that are newer and starting out and that are really heavy still working in the field have so much less time to field a bunch of calls, field a bunch of questions, be doing all this back and forth client communication every time they're wondering something. But those are the people that tend not to have these things in place. And that's what it does. When you have something they can reference anytime on weekends and evenings, whatever, it saves you so much administrative time on the back end.
Yeah. I mean, as simple as down to little things like your siding's touching the ground. We're not liable for siding that's not at least 4 inches off the ground because it's impossible. Like, it's impossible to not break that eventually. It's impossible to not chew a mailbox post up. It's impossible to not damage some of these plants that have no landscape bed around them. And if you have no terms and conditions of you're not liable for those things because it's impossible to do, it always becomes your fault. Everything becomes your fault. And that's a losing game.
Well, that's what I wanted to cover next is what happens if you have nothing, because I have seen people, and a lot of times it's that old school mentality of owner operator that's been doing it for 30 years and he, everything's just a-okay, and he'll say, like I said, a handshake's sufficient for him. You don't need anything in place. But it's crazy. Like I think you're playing with fire if you have nothing in place. In addition to wasting a lot of time answering questions, you truly are playing with fire. So what can happen in our experience or generally speaking, if you have nothing.
There's just not a clear line on any of these situations. Like I said, the damaging plants, the damaging a mailbox, the siding, all these people have this stuff. If people litter their lawn with bullshit, it's not my job to unclutter your lawn before we come mow. You're supposed to prep and have an area for us that we can come in and do our job. You know, like all these little things, down to like the expectation of person having dog shit in their lawn.
I was just about to say dog shit. Yep.
Trash in your lawn. Like our guys are not pooper scoopers.
Mm-hmm.
They are not trash men. They are lawn care. They mow and trim like that's what they do. And then they're out. If you don't have it in your terms of service, then you're the asshole. If you just ran over all the shit in my lawn. You ran over all the trash in my lawn. You left all of that way. Like you didn't pick all that up. All the sticks from the big storm, you didn't do a cleanup first. You're always the asshole, all because there's no upfront, there's no terms of service, there's no guideline for how you operate as a business to depict that to your clients.
Mm-hmm. It's like in our terms of service, it says, your service will be predictable. And since you'll know when we're coming, we ask that you please pick up all items and move all vehicles or blockages that can hinder our ability to access your yard. I mean, how many times have our guys gotten somewhere and there's a car parked in the way, or the gate's locked, the dog poop and the kids' toys and the hoses, and it says extra charges may apply if, we're responsible for picking up these items, or if we're delayed, due to these blockages.
Yep.
And it says repeated occurrences, may result in termination of service.
Yep.
So it's right there. It's laid out. And then the same thing I want to touch on. And again, I hope that you guys read, if you don't have something in place, or even if you do, that you read through ours to see what you could be missing. This is a big one though, courtesy and safety. So this is a section in our lawn care terms of service that while we're on location, keep all kids and pets and people away from us. Like this is for complete safety. I mean, we all know how dangerous mowing can be. You hit one rock, it hits a kid in the head. And I mean, holy shit, that's not something you want to deal with. You want to reiterate those things to them and educate them and remind them